My legs are
Me too. They're really bad.
yours are
I feel like you can't see
baby
it.
hairs though.
Oh, they're really bad.
Oh, look, mine are very.
Welcome back to Mo Mommies Mo Problems, your podcast destination for all things mommy. I'm your host, Kaylia Flowers, and today I have my good friend, Sara Gonzalez, with us. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good? How's your life going? What's a negative joy from your life?
A negative joy?
Nugget.
Oh, wait, how did those go?
A negative joy. A nugget of joy. Just like a little, with something special going on.
Well, my youngest son finished speech therapy completely before second grade, and so that was a big achievement.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very understandable now. So.
And what was he working on? Just like diction or?
He couldn't do G's and K sounds and some blends, but the blends were more like age appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's mastered them all.
He's mastered them all.
Yes.
Little cutie. The smallest T, little baby T.
And he is also reading. We ended up holding him back because he was a COVID kindergartner. And now he's reading on like second, third grade level.
Oh, so he's killing it.
And he's going into second. And I'm like, oh no.
He's such a cute little baby. I love him so much. Walk us through your mommy resume.
I had my first baby at 23. And I have 5 children. So I have a girl who's 17, we call her T1 because they all have T names.
They all have T names.
Yeah. And then
so
I have a girl who's 14, T2, and then T3 is 12. It's a boy. And then T4 is a girl. She's 10. And then T5 is a boy.
So cute, baby.
They're really cute.
Sweet little face.
And he's 7. Sorry, I don't know.
He's the same age as Matthias. I actually met Sara in a musical last year.
My kids still talk about
her kids stole my heart. I was like, oh my gosh, where's your mommy? And you were like, hi, I'm the mommy. I was like, we should be friends forever.
Yes, best friends.
The rest is history. I love your kids. They're so cute. They're really sweet little kids, man.
They're so pretty awesome.
They were like in the play and they had like little lines. They were like memorizing their lines.
Or Tenzin was an animal at one point.
His little ears
were so big.
He was the cutest part of the whole thing because he just came out by himself.
Well, and the music was like yeah.
Oh my gosh, so cute. So what's a mommy win and a mommy fail for you?
I would say mommy win is our oldest boy has gotten really into music and he plays the piano and the saxophone. And he's just kind of taken off. Yeah, and he can play a lot of things by ear. And so he's very self-driven. And so I think the win is finding something that he loved, that he's good at, and encouraging
him to do it. Yeah. He's doing it. And he's getting good at it?
Yeah, really good.
That's so cute.
He only started, he started piano lessons last fall, and he was in the percussion ensemble, so he got to perform in Disneyland.
Is that like a lot of extra money? Because I've been wanting to get Matthias into like piano lessons and dance lessons, and
we know a lady, and it's $25 for a half hour, which is really competitive, actually. Like that's a pretty good
$25
price.
for a half hour. That's not even that bad. And you could do it like you do weekly
and it's
lessons.
Private, because it's on the piano. So he goes weekly, and it's only in the fall and the spring, and they do little recitals, and they videotape it, and it's no extra for the video. So and she's really good.
So you could like watch their like little rehearsal and like how it goes down.
Share it with family.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
So maybe I'll have to hit you up about that because that's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's taken off, so that's definitely a win. Let me think.
You're like, I'm just so great. I can't even think of a fail.
Bad. Probably mommy fail realm is, I have a daughter who's the 10-year-old is kind of struggling with some anxiety, and she can read me like a book. And so like last night she was kind of pouring out her heart to me about how, you know, in church, she's kind of like, there's like a break between the primary age kids and then like the youth. Mm-hmm. And she's on the edge, like the cusp. And so her older friends already left and she was very upset about that. Mm-hmm. And then now she is going to leave her younger friends. And so all these changes are really disrupting her and kind of hurting her heart. And I don't have a lot of patience for it. Oh. And so she always wants to catch me when I'm like crawling into bed. And I'm like, no, you don't. This is me.
The worst possible. Leave me alone. I do not want to be touched by you right now.
So tired, and I want to love you, and I appreciate what you're going through because I kind of had the same struggles. Mm-hmm. But she can tell. She'll be like, "Mom, you don't even want to listen right now." Mm. And I'm like, no, I'm tired.
She's just calling you out on it.
Yeah.
You're like, bro, what about me?
I'm not grouchy. I'm just so tired. You know what I mean? So I will try to patch that up. But
yeah. But that's your fail is that she's like, dude.
Just not having infinite patience.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
and like, you know, you have a cup that needs to be filled. And like, at the end of the day, girl, like, I'm like, ain't nothing in the cup. Okay? Don't ask me for anything. Wait until the morning when I have a full cup again.
And she's pretty forgiving. Yeah. So it'll be okay.
Kids are they have a great mom.
We have a good relationship. So
yeah. That's really good. Yeah,
it is a fail when she's very perceptive, and so you can't be like, like she sees right through it. There's none of, you don't get any leeway with that. Whereas some of the other kids they might feel they're being a little brushed off, but they're not going to call you out.
They'll just take it. Yeah. Titus lately too, I was talking about it in another podcast episode, he's been calling me out a lot.
Yeah.
Where it's like, dang, dude, like I don't get it. But, you know, he's like, oh, well, you said you were going to do this and then you didn't do it.
Oh, I know. Yes.
Like, sometimes we're, like, going to the park and doing all this fun stuff, and other times we don't do anything.
I have a child that is like,
leave me alone.
I'm summoning you.
Like, I feel like I'm going to the principal's office to talk to my child.
Like, one of them wanted to show me a music video, and it was an original song with an original animation, and, you know, they're really into, like, anime type stuff and
like Zelda lines. And stuff, right?
Yeah, so this was completely original though, and she wanted to show it to me, and I was like, I'm too tired. So I went to bed, and I'm like, show me in the morning. Well, she was like 6 a.m. like, wake up, turned the laptop around to show me in bed.
That's the worst.
And I'm just like,
why are children this way?
I'm like, you know, trying to watch it.
And you don't want to be mean and be like, get out of my space.
It's a 14-year-old,
not even the baby. Like, oh my goodness.
She's like, no, you said. And it's like, she is going to be a CEO one day because she holds people to their word.
She's like, you signed a contract. Okay. You could not violate the terms of our agreement.
Right, exactly.
Oh my gosh. So is it weird watching your kids grow up? You were saying that, like, you're approaching adulthood with the oldest, like,
I know.
just turned 17, right? Dude.
I know.
How's that? Like, I mean, and you still got your youngest who's 5, so you do have, like,
he's
I'm
7.
sorry, not 5.
I know, he was probably 5 when you met him.
7. He was 5 when I met him.
Yeah.
So you said you have your youngest who is 7, so, like, you do have, like, sprinkled age ranges. But, like...
I think it's one of those things that, you know, when they're little, you're, like, dying for them to be, like, 3, so you can put them in something and watch them participate and be with other people, like, oh, you're 3, now I can put you in dance or whatever. Yeah. You know, like, they'll take you. Mm-hmm. And so you're, like, dying because you're just having to wait, and that's hard. Mm-hmm. And then they hit school, and it just, like... it's like a train taking off, you know. It just ramps up and it goes faster and faster and faster.
It's just like parent-teacher conferences.
And no, it goes faster and faster and faster.
Open house, and then it's,
you know, I kept having kids, and so then it's a blur, you know.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about all the butts you had to wipe. all the baby bottoms.
A decade of diapers.
I was changing of Jabari. I was like, Sarah, do you miss diapers? She was like, absolutely not.
I hope to never change them again. It's up to me.
So many. You should win an award for like all the diapers you've had to change.
For real.
And
that's a lot. I think I had I told you, I had like a 6-month break or something between the last two. But I mean, and
everyone else was like,
for church, our kids do early morning seminary in high school, so they go to seminary at 6:30 till 7:20. So I have to drive them, and I had the realization that like that's not gonna stop either until my youngest is graduating.
So you're just dedicating yourself to years and years
of getting up super early.
Of getting up so early.
Yeah.
Oh, and never getting enough sleep. Do you feel like you're getting a lot of sleep lately? I mean, you don't have any babies.
No, it's good. People don't tell you how good school age kids are. It's fantastic.
Man, it's like, go to bed. Bedtime. What's bedtime for you? Like 8:30?
Yeah.
Okay, ours is 8:30. Summertime, it's like 10. I'm like, you could stay up.
Me
right?
too.
I'm like, you could stay up a little. Not too late.
Like
that's
yesterday,
crazy.
I was marching around, like being like, go to bed, go! You know, like losing my mind.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you cannot be awake when I'm asleep, and you can't be alone in the living room.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're going to get into.
And then, and I'm not there to keep you safe.
I'm not going to leave
a
a 12-year-old
none of you make
boy in there. Like,
none of you make the best decisions.
Right. I'm not going to.
Do you remember when I went over and, like, it was raining, and I think your son just, like, ran across the street, and he was just, like, in the puddles, and you were like, tell him to get back over here. I was like, no, sir. Bring it back. Your mama said no. She said no.
I know.
Trejo, let's go.
Well, and one thing about them getting older, then they can kind of take care of themselves and cleaning up and stuff. Yeah. But it's always half done. You know, when they're babies, you were forced to do it all with them.
Yeah.
But when they're older, it's like half done. So then you're like, it's cool that you cooked the pasta, but now
you made a huge mess.
There's shells on the counter and there's shells on the floor and everything's still out.
Yeah, you gotta finish, Yeah. That's hard for me, though.
That's where we are now. It's like, it's super cool that you're being independent, but this is not
But
acceptable.
I think, too, it's like, if you're not, like, because I'm not a good example in that way. So, like, even with Matthias, like, he'll like wake up and just like leave his room all in disarray and like get ready, and then we're always like, well, dude, you need to clean your room.
I know, and then they walk in. I know. It's not like, but don't. This is not your business.
This is not. Do as I say, not as I do. Don't be talking about me.
I will get there someday, and you can be better than me.
Yes, yeah. I want you to. Don't be like me. Don't be like this. Make a better choices. Yeah. It is hard though. Gosh, so like, I mean, you do have such an interesting array of ages. Is it weird having to like, because you're not going to parent the oldest how you parent the baby, you know?
But I mean, we do in some ways.
You just kind of keep it even keel, but, or like, how's that go for you guys?
I think the most like delightful thing to discover is that when they get older, they develop a sense of humor. And if they've been living with you the whole time, it's usually similar to yours. Or they start to understand it, right? So under like 10, they're not really catching your sarcasm. And so it's lost on them.
And you're like...
And you're kind of okay with it.
That was funny, bro.
But but then when they start hitting like 10, 11, 12, they'll like give you the eye of like, is she joking?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And you're like, yes, I am. You got it,
Sarcasm.
Or
it's a phenomenon.
Or just like the normal tease, like you tease the little sibling, and then the older one will, they'll be hiding their face just like you used to.
Oh,
because now it's funny and they can't handle it.
And they're like, oh, because they don't get it. They're like, what? Taking you so seriously.
Yeah, but the older kid will be like, and so that's really fun to have that interaction. And
your kids, are they pretty close, like, to each other? Are they pretty bonded?
The oldest two, since they're both girls, are both in high school now. There was a bit of a divide between middle school and high school just that 1 year. Well, I guess it's more than one, but 1 year in person. They are besties, the older girls. And I intentionally had them like close together because I had bigger age gaps with my siblings, and you just have less in common. Yeah. So they're all 2 years apart. I just couldn't maintain it for the fifth one.
Yeah.
So he's 3 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like gender plays a big role in that.
Okay.
And so not always, but
and like how close they are with one another. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But so the last 3 are boy, girl, boy,
mm-hmm.
and so they're kind of a little troop together.
Yeah.
There's more conflict.
Those are the ones that were in the musical.
There's more conflict because of the girl, throws a different dynamic in there.
Yeah. She's like
she
her own little spirit.
The rules and
oh yeah. And they're just like chaos. Like those two.
Yeah, kind of.
Those like yeah. So, they go hard. They go really hard.
Sometimes she's real tomboyish and they bumble around really well together. But sometimes it's just like...
You have one that's...
They're driving each other crazy.
15 turning 16, right?
No, 14 turning 15.
14 turning 15. Okay, the last time I was over at your house, there was something, I think Trejo had like hit Tenzin.
Yeah.
And he was like doing something and Tenzin was so sad and his whole face was red. And you were like, why would you do that? And you did whatever, you guys have like a point system or like the way that you, and you were like, what?
A grounding system.
Yeah, so you were like, no, you said something and I was like, period, girl, check in. That was not okay. But I was also staying out of it and I was like, but his little face was so red and I just remember not the oldest, but the second oldest daughter. She just saw him crying and she was like, come here.
Yeah.
And so he came
she's
and he just like sat right there and she was just holding him and it was like,
yeah.
And they didn't know what was watching. I was like, so cute.
So
cutest moment ever. I just love seeing sibling love. I think me and my siblings there was so much like, it was just kind of chaotic in my house and dysfunctional that like, we didn't get a lot of, me and my younger sister, the one that's directly underneath me, were really close. But like all the rest of my siblings,
I think there was a lot of like
get close till we got older.
Hands-off parenting when we were kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how it felt for me. Like, my sister and I were generally pretty good, and we were never truly going to hurt each other. But there was times that she, like, sat on me for prolonged periods. You know what I mean? Like, there was crying, lots of crying, and she was still on me, you know?
Oh my God. Are you okay?
Yes. And I still love her. But
like, we made it out. We're okay.
Some siblings don't, though. Sometimes they don't forgive each other for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so our standard at home is they can roughhouse a little, but if someone gets hurt or someone starts crying, it's done.
Okay.
Like, that's kind
too
of...
Too far, cut it.
Yeah, like
cut it off. Yeah.
It's not fun anymore. It has to stop.
Right.
And then the grounding system,
tell us about the grounding system.
Okay.
They have like a chart. I was like
a chart, and everyone's name is on it, and then we have little magnets to be moved. Mm-hmm. And it's the concept comes from those horrible school charts where like you get green or blue and you get moved during the day.
Pulling a card,
which I don't agree with those necessarily.
So much shame for children
right.
in front of all their peers, like ugh.
But so the reason ours is different is they get a day, and when they get a day, it means that they are grounded for the day from video games.
Okay.
If you get 2 days, then all screens are lost, and 3 days you can't swim. That's when we used to have a pool. Mm-hmm. But so it's hard on them to put their days up, but they can be redeemed.
Okay, so how do you redeem the day?
So they may ask for a task or chore to help them get their day off. So like if he's
just like working hard,
if I
work hard.
Screamed, like someone screams in my ear intentionally as loud as they can.
Yeah, I feel like this is happening.
You get a day, and then it's like, oh well, how can I get it off? Like empty the dishwasher. So it's kind of like. You try to
and that's it? You don't have to, like, empty the dishwasher and do the laundry or something?
No.
Okay.
Well, and if there's multiple days, then it will be, like, empty the dishwasher, do the dishes. And you can have 2 days off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It teaches them, like, all right, work for it.
Yeah, well,
work
and
for redemption.
It's not like you're being punished forever. It's like you can come back from it. Like, this is just, like, a transaction. Like, you messed up, this is how you're gonna fix it, and it's all good. Like,
we usually try to like
we don't hate you.
You're not in trouble forever. Yeah, I usually make Attias go think about it, and if he can tell me like what went wrong, like and what to do better next time, then I'll be like, all right, cool.
That's pretty good.
But if he can't, because sometimes he's not willing to, and then like he's just like.
Well, and sometimes the kid will take the punishment. They'll be like, I'll take my date. And then they just go do whatever in their room, and they don't have to work it off.
Does that annoy you? Like,
no, not really. I'm
okay.
Like,
whatever.
Not my video games.
That's real. Yeah. So how is it hard to like stick to the no video games thing when they're like annoying? Like if it's like, especially right now, it's like summertime. Is it like if there's no game? Because me, sometimes I'm like, oh no, we took the TV from him, and now he's like...
you don't want to punish yourself, right? So, and that's where you can come up with easy ways for them to work it off.
Okay, you're like, how about you, blah blah blah, and then you can.
How about you bring me a glass of water, and then.
Okay. See, I would have.
So you can work it to your advantage.
Sometimes you're like, give me something I need, and also now you're like not in my face so much. Because when Matthias doesn't have those like activities, like if we take out, sometimes it's like the things he really likes to do: go outside, play with the tablet. He likes to make music on GarageBand on the iPad,
on the phone
things like that. So those are the things we'll take away, but those are the things that keep him occupied like most of the day.
Yeah, and so I think there's something to be said for trying not to punish yourself. Like we had some struggles with grades on like progress reports, and it was something where like with my older girls go to university high, so it was like, I know this school's killing you. Like, this is really, really hard. Yeah. And we generally try to compensate by not giving them a lot of chores because their job is school right now, But if they're coming home with poor grades, then we're like, well, giving you days is not going to solve. Like, this is more of an adult-ish problem, you know? So, like, one of the kids, when summer hit, they just had, like, 3 weeks of dishes. And it was hard, but it's like I can't punish you in ways that is going to make it harder for you to do school. You know what I mean?
That's real. Yeah. That's
so
good though that you're factoring all that in. It's not just like I'm mad, so now you're on punishment. Because a lot of people get parented that way. Yeah. It's like you pissed me off. That's it.
Yeah. No, and
I'm pissed off right now.
Yeah, and there's some, because their school's so hard, sometimes and this is where Dad and Mom negotiate in the other room because, we'll have different opinions.
Yeah.
He will want to, throw down the hammer. And me and true mommy fashion.
Please,
they can't kiss the dance. It's the only dance. You know what I mean? They can't miss the prom. But for real, they're only given so many happy moments.
Please, give her another chance. She's just a little girl.
Yeah, exactly. So there is some of that.
Oh my gosh.
But my advice is negotiate in the other room because nobody wants to be undermined in front of their kids.
Oh,
and that's hard.
Thank you for saying that because I think I unintentionally undermined Darian a lot, but it's because Matthias is like my son. And he was my son before I met him. So, because my stepdad wasn't, kind to me, I'm very protective over, the person I'm bringing to my son's life. And he's his dad. He totally is. But I'm still watch it, buddy! And so, it's...
honestly, our biggest, parenting fights were over their, blanket that they slept with that night. Mm-hmm. For me, it was kind of under no circumstances should this ever be taken away. And so we had a lot of fights over.
Because you're you can't take the blanket.
Yeah, it's
it's their blankie.
Yeah, how are they going to sleep? Again, we're punishing ourselves.
That's right. Makes so much sense.
Well, and it's just it was so much emotional turmoil over it.
Yeah.
For me, that's not worth it.
That's real.
You gotta punish them another way.
And that's cool. Even, that kind of takes me into the next question because just talking about marriage and y'all been married for how long?
18 years.
18 years? 18 what, this month you said?
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. How has it been being married for 18 years?
A big success. It seems unreal that it's been that long, but I have a daughter who's 17, so obviously.
There you go. Yeah.
So it's been really good, and we are each other's best friends, and I think that's kind of the secret, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
actually enjoy each other's company and laugh together.
Yeah,
hang
and
out.
then, any issues or anything, is kind of kept between us, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think over the years, the less and less I've kind of talked to friends about whatever I was struggling with him, and I think that has actually made us stronger. And I don't mean you can't talk to your friends for advice, but I'm talking like talking just to talk crap.
Yeah.
So I do think it's, if you're trying to get advice from your friends and you're giving your
I
friends
never
scenarios,
actually listened to my friends' advice though. Like, I just want to talk about it, and then they offer advice, and I'm like, all right, cool, and then I just do what I want anyway.
So I mean, take it for what it is.
Yeah.
But I am a believer in that you guys need to sort it out. So the fewer people involved, it's probably the better.
That's real. So I mean, I'm sure it's gotten, marriage isn't like, it's not easy. It's not just like a happy train. Like, I'm sure there's like storms and stuff. Like, how have you guys gotten through any storms you've had in the past 18 years? Like, is it just a lot of talking? Do you guys do a lot of like, because we will talk things to death, girl. Yeah. We'd be like 3 a.m. I'm like, okay, can we just sleep and then talk about it some more tomorrow? Like, it's
I struggle with you already said that, and I got it.
Yeah, why are we just said this. We're repeating ourselves. And then, I'm so tired.
And then
my attention span.
I know. And then I'm like, I told you I feel bad. Do I need to cry? Because I can cry. We're getting there.
Do I need to cry?
Because we'll get there if you keep talking to me.
So rude.
But I don't know. Like we've gone through a lot of hard things together, and he's a good communicator, and so when it's come to tough stuff with family, mostly he'll be like, just tell me about it, talk to me about it, like get it off your chest, that way you're not gonna say anything to anyone else. Like like I'll be here for you, the shoulder to cry on, and I think that was good for our relationship and good for me, because my family was pretty repressive. Like, if you have feelings, people aren't gonna like you.
Gotta lock that down. That's too much.
Like, you need to be happy and fun and not around all the time, because if you're around too much, then people might not like you.
Oh my god.
And nobody openly said that, but
what's up?
I'm not gonna make music on the iPad.
I'll tell you, it's charging. It was on like 2% when I put it on the charger.
Soon, buddy.
Soon, buddy.
I won't be here all night.
Is your brother okay?
Yeah, he's okay. He's just sleeping.
No.
I just heard him make noise. Was that you?
No, he spit out his binky.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it back to him.
Okay.
And then I just want some water.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, my family didn't really apologize to each other much. We had our, like, if we started talking to you again after a fight, that was the apology.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
So he's been really good at,
dude.
As much as I have hated it, like, there have been a lot of things that he's helped me with and has been good in the long run, all around, And so nobody wants to be made to apologize.
Sometimes you have to, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes I calm down and I'm like, wow, I really just took that up there, didn't I?
Well, and he'll be like,
I'm sorry, baby.
Come back in 2 hours when you feel sorry.
Yeah, he does.
He's like, am I going to be hearing an apology in 4 hours? Like,
yeah, my husband will do the like.
Maybe.
He'll be like, sometimes he's like, I don't know what you're trying to do right now, but I'm going to be in the other room. Okay? And you can come out there when you can behave. when this is better, okay? And I'm like, fine. And then I'm like, wait, okay, come back. I feel better now. I changed my mind. I'm not that anymore. Makes me feel foolish.
Right. So, yeah.
You just have to admit when you're wrong sometimes, man.
Right.
I'm like, I'm sorry. That was me. I didn't need to do all this.
Yeah, it gets dramatic sometimes.
It gets really dramatic. Drama. We're drama queen.
Drama girls?
We're theater girls. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's, I don't know, he's been a good example in that.
Yeah.
Communication realm.
Mm-hmm. How'd you guys meet?
So we
I want to hear.
So at Fresno City College, there's an Institute of Religion across the street for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Mm-hmm. And so we had a celestial marriage class together. Oh. Even though...
What does that mean?
It's just like a marriage class.
Okay.
But obviously you don't have to be married to
take it. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it just talked about all those kind of topics that you would want to know. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Sort of thing. So, maybe it wasn't that class. It might have been a class before it. But his girlfriend at the time sat between us and introduced us. And
was she your friend? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
So, but I didn't know they were dating. Like, we were loosely acquainted. Mm-hmm. And, she was leaving on a mission. And she was like, don't let him be a hermit. And I was like, okay. I won't.
Okay, so then what happened?
Well, we were friends first, and we were actually dating other people at the time.
Yeah.
And then those fell through. And then it was kind of unhealthy for a while because we shouldn't have been dating each other. Mm-hmm. But we kind of became inseparable really fast. Mm-hmm. And so, we're inseparable in like May, and then by December, we admitted to dating each other, and then we were engaged like a month later, married 5 months later after that.
They've been married for
18
years.
Yeah, it was kind of a year-long relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love hearing people's timelines because everyone's is so different. Some people are like, oh, well, we were friends for like 10 years. Then we dated for like 8 years. And then he proposed, No,
ours was pretty short. But there was massive anxiety before I got married, so we hashed out everything. Like, if we can't have kids, we foster, we adopt. Like, I have some debt. How are you going to deal with that? And like,
wow, you guys really talked it all.
Yeah, like we checked.
Is that because of the marriage class? Like, because that
that might have added to it.
Like, when you go in knowing, like, all right, this is what a marriage really looks like. It's not just the cute part.
Do you want
in
kids?
The wedding?
And, I think the only surprise is when we got married. He was like, okay, so we're going to have a kid right away. And I was like,
What?
And then I was like, can we wait 3 months?
3 months?
That's when my daughter's birthday's in June.
So it worked out. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Oh, man. And, well, that's really special. 18 years is a long time. And I feel like if you're still making it work and it's happening and you guys really love each other.
And it really is still good. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. Like, when I used to... A lot of times when people ask me about my husband, they'll be like, oh my gosh, you're smiling. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, because I actually like him. Like, what?
We were just talking about you were saying earlier, too, is just like coming to terms with the fact that it's like, okay, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. You're like looking it up, looking up the symptoms.
Okay, so I used to always like joke like, oh, there goes my ADD cleaning again. Like, because I just can't finish tasks, and I'll like circle around the same tasks over and over until I start finishing them.
Not really making enough progress on anything.
Yeah. And so then I started looking more and more into the ADHD because one of my kids definitely has it, probably too. Mm-hmm. The more because my son is in 6th grade, and I was like, you know what, bro, you're doing really good. You know why? Because in 6th grade, I was being sent outside. Right? For talking. Pull
a card!
And,
so angry all the time.
I had my 6th grade teacher who was, he let us sit anywhere we wanted. And I talked to that person. Oh, no, it was by friends first. We could sit by our friends first. And so that was great. And then he was like, Sarah, you can't sit, you can't sit there. And so then he put me by somebody else. And I was like, does he really think I'm not going to talk to them? So I would chat them up, and then he moved me to the front of the class, and then I'm like, so, Mr. White.
That's so real. Oh my God. And, I relate to you so deeply.
So then I, started getting sent outside when appropriate, but I was a really good student, and so they didn't know what to do. You just love to
learn, and it's like, they're like, you're disrupting the class, and you're like, but
I'm
learning.
Yeah, and they would do the, like, sneak try to catch you, like you didn't do the reading or something, so they'd be like, they'd ask you a question out of nowhere.
And you're like, actually, that's not the paragraph we were on.
And then I'd answer it. And so then more than once I got the like, Sarah, you might get to talk and know the answer, but not everyone around you can.
Yeah.
And so.
That's hard.
It's a very
you just want to, like, I have so much to share.
Yes.
So
he's actually doing way better than me on that front.
Yeah.
But that was the big light bulb. Like, I've been watching him for a while being like, yeah, that's probably ADHD, you know? And then the realization, like, oh, I was super loud and super talkative and super annoying. And then it's like you start...
You think about all the times people were like, we don't want to play with you. You're weird and loud and annoying. And you're like, actually, this is a pattern.
And so then the light bulb kind of went off when somebody was talking about not being able to finish everyday tasks because they were boring. And that's when I was like...
And it feels like work.
That's
like it
the
feels,
answer.
I don't know.
That's why I hate it.
Do you get overwhelmed? Like, I just feel like it's overwhelming me by, like, how... Ugh, I don't want to do this.
Knowing where to start. Yeah, that's a little bit of it.
I don't want to do this.
But it is kind of... So I've always seen myself as really selfish because of that.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of turning... I am very selfish. But I'm trying to turn it. And this is something that my husband and I have discussed openly.
It's just that I am pretty selfish.
So I'm learning to turn it on, like, because sometimes I use procrastination as a tool to motivate me to do something. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to turn it on its head and be like, well, if it's that boring, how can I make it not boring so I can finish?
Yeah. Make it fun.
Yeah. So.
What's that look like for you? What do you do to make things more fun so you can get things done?
Okay. So I was the youngest. So a lot of people, like, weren't around once I started getting older. Mm-hmm. Because my sister was so busy and there's age gaps. So I was kind of an only child for a while. And so I would do all that stuff just kind of on my own when I felt like it. Mm-hmm. And like I had the whole upstairs to myself. It was very golden childhood. Mm-hmm. And so, I'd clean my bathroom when I felt like it. And I would get really hyper-focused and like clean it super good. But it wasn't an all-the-time thing because I don't have energy for that. And so now if my husband is home, I have a really hard time cleaning because I'm like, you're here. Why in the world would I want to take care of anything else?
I want to hang out with you.
When you're here doing nothing.
We should hang out.
Now, I have discovered that if he's working, my ability to work is better. But
okay.
It turns into I have to have control over the entertainment choices, and then I do much better.
Yeah.
So I put on a movie that I've seen, and then I can finish the dishes and fold the laundry. And it has to be something I know, because if I leave the room, it won't matter that I can't hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if it's something engrossing...
Because it's distracting.
Yeah, because if it's something engrossing, I'll just be like...
Yeah, and then I'll stop what I'm doing and be like, oh, I missed it. Rewind.
Yeah, and then I won't get anything
done.
I
won't get anything done. That's so real. Yeah. I had a question. I'm trying to remember what it was.
So most of my life feels like whack-a-mole. And I do... like, with the hyper-focus, you can get amazing things done.
Yeah.
But
it's not consistent.
You can't always turn it on.
Yeah.
And then if you did, you'd probably burn yourself out.
So how are you with, like, responsibilities? Because I was sharing in one of my podcast episodes that it's like, where I really feel angry at myself about is, like, I struggle with, like, making the doctor's appointments and, like, setting the, and, like, being like, okay, I know that my license is going to expire soon. I need to go to the DMV. But the process of that seems so overwhelming to me that I'm like, I'll do it later. I got time. My license expires at the end of the year. And then, like, now it's November and it's like, then I'm like, I have to get it done. I'm running out of time.
Okay, so I do have some coping things. Uh-huh. So we have a Google Calendar between us, Sammy and I, on the phone. And our deal is, like, if you get it on there first, then you get, like, precedence. So, like, you get to go first. So, like, if I put a ladies' night on Thursday and he tries to add something and ladies' night is on there, then he has to honor it. That's kind of our deal. And obviously, for bigger things, we consult each other.
Yeah.
But, so I will make doctor's appointment, make dentist appointment. I'll have a big long list as a calendar assignment. And so it'll hit, 10 a.m. and those will all pop up, and that's my reminder. So
that's so organized.
It's not always effective because I'll be like, I can't do that today, and then it gets hard. But I will kick it down the can, but I do keep it on the calendar so I won't forget. There is some rigidity that has come from using the calendar because then we get really grouchy if things change on us. Like we'll get really kind of out of sorts because that was the plan and this was the plan and why are you changing the plan? And so we do struggle with that a little bit. But yes, putting things on the calendar, even if they're tasks, works really well for us.
I was reading somewhere, it helps to get things in your life in an order that works with your brain. So you like have to hack your brain. Like you're like, okay, I know how my brain works. So an example is like when I'm at work and we're in a meeting, I'm not gonna have a hard time sitting there for the 2 hours of the meeting. Right. So I doodle. Yeah. Like I always bring a doodle pad and I'm drawing pictures and I've had to tell people like, I'm listening to you. I just am trying to sit here and doodle so that I'm not like and interrupting, not letting you talk, and I'm standing up and I'm shifting in my seat, even like as we're talking. Like, just like looking at stuff.
I'm always cleaning my fingernails.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
My mom used to do it, and that's where I got it.
And then I've ended up like I do a lot of the nail biting, the nail biting a lot, the tapping of the leg, just like literally making any sound. Like if I have a pen, I'll click, 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 click.
I was always like, dude, my legs hurt. Like you don't like, I can't sit still like this. How is this not killing everybody? You know. And even now, like if I am largely inactive, like because I'm sick or something, like all the muscles start hurting, and I don't know if that's connected or not.
And you're like, I need to be moving my body, and so that's another thing is I've been working with my brain. I know that if I start my day with a workout, I have a way better day than if I just wake up and go to work. So I have to hack it. I'm like, all right, if I work out and drink some coffee and then like get tasks done today, then I will feel rewarded by the end of the day. But if I wake up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
that's that was one of the other coping things I was going to share. But are you done with your idea? Were you done with your idea? I don't want to cut you.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead.
Because I'll cut you off all day. Yeah, I'm sorry. One thing that my husband and I do to cope with like the impossible tasks is if it's paying bills or something, he'll be like, I'll come sit with you. And just having him in the room to like bounce things off of, if like ask him questions or whatever if I need to,
helps you get
makes
through
it way easier.
That's
so then
cool.
we'll share space and I'll be like, okay, wait, what's this charge? You know, what's this on the credit card? Like, when did this happen? Oh, that's what it was. Okay. You know, and then I can face it.
You're not like taken out of the moment because you're like, wait, oh,
and I don't have to like hunt him down or something, you know. So I call it moral support.
I still am at that point where the kids are young enough to when they go to bed, it's like I get like my little bit of me time.
Yeah.
And so it's like 2 hours and it's already okay. Dang it. So I'm like, it's 11:30. I have to go to bed in like 45 minutes, and I'm trying to watch a show, and I keep. And I'm like, oh, I missed it. And I rewind it.
That's why you have to put your phone in the other room.
And I was going to say, I'm trying to hack my brain. Yeah. And so I'm like, I know myself, if I'm trying to watch something and I really want to watch it, I'm going to go put my phone somewhere else. Dealing with criticism and trying to avoid the spiral or the shutdown. Yes. Or, you know, both. Yeah. What's that like for you? Because I'm a very sensitive mom. I have like rejection sensitivity and anything... Most things that aren't positive get filtered through a rejection lens.
Criticism hurts so much, I think, because I am trying so hard. And because I'm so distractible and anxious, it's like, you don't know how much it took to make this happen. Like,
I'm doing it wrong.
Focus to make this happen. And then you're telling me that I messed it up. Yeah. Like, yesterday, I didn't charge the electric car, and so I couldn't take the freeway to go to the eye doctor, and so I had to try to go through town. But then I stopped at the free chargers, because if I did the free chargers for 10 minutes, I could take the freeway and just be a little late. Well, the free chargers didn't work. So I rolled in exactly 15 minutes late, and they're like, your appointment was at 3. And I'm like, well, you said 3:05. And they're like, it's 3:22. I like legit almost cried. And then they're like, well, go to this, go to the other window, see if they'll help you. Well, by the time I'm at the other window, it's almost 30 minutes late. And then I'm really going to cry, and I'm doing everything I can to just sit. Because it's for my 7-year-old who's never been to the eye doctor. And he's pumped about it, right? I mean, if it was just me, I might have coped a little better.
Yeah.
But since it's the 7-year-old who's all pumped, who's
the
never
kids
been,
being there while the hot messness is happening makes it worse.
So then they're like, well,
just so you know.
Let me talk to the staff. So then she came and was like, I'm sorry, they can't see you. And I'm like, okay. So I do the walk of shame, and I'm not going to reschedule his appointment with the mean girls.
Yeah.
Like, I really will cry. It's too embarrassing.
Yeah.
So. But, like, it was my fault. And,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And so you're like, sorry,
so
baby.
I can't be mad at anyone.
Mommy dropped the ball, man.
Yeah, I can't be mad at anyone.
But you want to be, right? Like,
yeah, I really wanted to make it.
Those bitches in the front were so mean.
I wanted to make it somebody else's fault. But it was fine. So, so I went back today because I had to take other kids to the eye doctor. And I had to suck it up and look at those same girls. But I'll bet I was 10 minutes early that time.
Period.
and then on the way out, I scheduled the youngest appointment, you know, because then I was able to handle it. But, like, really was going to cry over being late. Like, how silly is that?
So what goes on in your mind when the spiral starts? Because for me, it's like I start to feel like, oh, you always do this. Oh, this is always you. Gosh, just keep it together. Gosh, Kayla! And then I'm like, what? My friends don't like me. My husband doesn't like me. My kids don't like me. I'm like, none of that is true. But for some reason, like, that's...
Mine is like...
Just raging at yourself or what?
It's like, well, then I should never be in charge of this. I should never do this. Like, why is anybody letting me be in charge of this? You know, and that...
I'm not qualified.
It's more like an inadequacy. Mm-hmm. And so then I'll spiral down and be like, well, then I'm just never going to do it again. What are you going to do with that? It sounds like a problem for you. Like, you don't need me. You know? And so it gets very...
like you want to abandon ship.
Yes.
Like you're like, well, never mind then. I just will never do this again because obviously I'm so bad at it.
I think the worst fight this year with my husband, I was like, I guess we'll just burn it. Burn it all. You know, like,
burn it to the ground.
Like, you know what? We don't need this anymore. But I usually don't go that far. But
it feels like that even if you don't say it, like you're like, well then. Gosh, I know.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, mine is always like, well then I don't know what I'm doing. It always comes down to me feeling like I'm just failing. Like and I guess I'm failing at my friend. I'm failing at like.
It comes down to the same feelings. Yeah. It is a feeling of failure and not being good enough.
And I'm like, who let me have kids? Who let me bring children into this world? Why? Like, I feel bad for them that I'm their mom because, like, gosh, like other kids can go to the dentist when they're supposed to, and I'm still like,
others' moms charge their cars. One time. And what was I doing before the 30 minutes I was supposed to drive there? Nothing important. I was waiting, right? The whole, like, ADHD waiting thing. Like, I've got one appointment today. Now I must wait until 30 minutes before, and then I'll go. Right? You know?
You could have, So then you're mad because you're like, I didn't even do anything today. It's not like my whole day was planned.
Yeah, and so I got through the eye appointments today, and I played some video games with my daughter, and then I was waiting for this. And so then I waited till 30 minutes before, because that's usually, it takes me 30 minutes.
Early.
I was embarrassingly
She got here at like 6:40.
And so,
it was for 7, but it's fine.
Because your house is closer. Because I had decided that was the time I was going to leave. And if I stayed longer, then I might get distracted, and then I'm going to be late.
Could have been late, So it's good. Well, okay, girl. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I was trying to get Sarah on the podcast for a while. And she was playing games. She was playing games, but she finally made it, and she was early.
I put it on the calendar. She put you up. I had the wrong date. I scheduled it.
She put it on the calendar. Didn't tell me that I was on her calendar. So she's like, "Yeah, good. Let's do it tonight." And I was like, "No, I have plans. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Did I?" And then
But it's on the calendar.
But I have a calendar, and I was like, she's not on my calendar. Like,
well, then I reviewed our texts, and I was like, oh, I never gave her a date.
I was like, wait, what did I say? Did I forget? Like,
well, but it
and then I
took us
really
like
forget.
3 months, or longer.
I'm so glad we finally did it, and I think this is gonna be a really good one. So you have to do the thing. Well, wait. This has been Mo Mommies, Mo Problems, your podcast destination for all things mommy. Stay tuned next week for more episodes. Thank you so much, Sarah. And now we're going to do the thing. So we go like this. Ready? Just like this. Thank you for listening to our podcast, Mo Mommies, Mo Problems. See you later.